Ambassador David Smith, a senior fellow at the Potomac Institute for Policy Studies, joins us to talk a little bit about the Online Piracy Act, SOPA as it is called. Ambassador, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it.
Ernie, thanks for having me.
As I understand this, Hollywood is very hot on this issue because they don't want movies and music pirated overseas, but there apparently is more to this. There's a concern about somebody posting copyrighted material on your website, and that means the government would be able to take it down.
Well, that's of course, Hollywood does have a real problem with pirated things, and this is something that has to be addressed. But I think we're kind of going after a fly with a shotgun here. This is something that would allow the Justice Department literally to go into court and simply get a judge's order to then make the ISP, the Internet Service Provider, responsible for the content that may be carried over its lines. And that seems to me like what it's going to do is it may do what they're intending to do, but it's also going to harm a lot of other things like Internet creativity.
Well, it's concerning, too. I mean, the sheer volume, you have 2 billion people right now using the Internet. I don't see how it can be monitored in most cases.
Well, the problem is this. You're asking the Internet service providers, and this affects everybody. We're talking Google, Yahoo here.
Facebook
may be asked to install equipment to check what you are sending back and forth on the Internet. It's an impossible task. There's too many packets of information. You're looking for a needle in a haystack.
Now, what would you say to folks who say, yeah, but the TV networks, for example, they monitor everything on their network, and a movie, they know what's in the movie, cable networks know what's on their cable channel, the Internet's just another form of entertainment and commerce, and people know they should know what's on there.
Well, no, I think you're talking about a billion-fold difference. This is sort of like you're not only making the bartender responsible for serving too many drinks to somebody who may drink and drive, you're making the bartender responsible for the words that may pass between two people at a table in a distant corner. You can't make the ISPs responsible for this. What it's going to do is it's going to clam everything up. And what you'd end up doing by that is you have copyrights and trademarks and patents and things like that so that you can encourage creativity. You don't encourage creativity by stifling creativity in another sector.
Now, Hollywood, I know they have a lot of lobbyists on Capitol Hill, and their whole point in this said, look, we're losing millions of dollars. It's costing people their jobs. We don't care about this other stuff. This is not going. That's just an offshoot. That's not ever going to happen. We just need to stop people from stealing our movies and our music.
Well, I mean, they have a point. Intellectual property is a serious issue. Whether you're doing a knockoff handbag, whether you're selling illegal pharmaceuticals, whether you're hijacking DVDs and making illegal copies, this is an important issue. And I think, frankly, both sides need to start taking this a little more seriously. What we've got is a typical lobbying duel going on in Washington right now. I think the Internet people, the high-tech industry, needs to admit that, yes, intellectual property is a serious issue, but the entertainment industry also has to look at it and say, yeah, wow, but I don't think you're going to fix it all that way. We're going to have to do some other things. We're going to have to engage other countries to enforce intellectual property laws. This is not the way to do it by going against American ISPs.
How has where does the Stop Online Piracy Act stand right now in Congress?
Well, right now it's in the Judiciary Committee, which is chaired by Congressman Lamar Smith of Texas, and he is the sponsor of this bill. So it is very likely going to be voted out of the Judiciary Committee in a matter of weeks. Meantime, Mr. Darrell Issa of California, who opposes it, has called for hearings in his committee, the Government Oversight Committee. So it looks like we're still headed for a melee on the House of Representatives side. And there is a companion bill that is slightly different over on the Senate side that is a little bit, it's been around for longer, but it's not as far along in the process.
I have about 30 seconds left, Ambassador. I'm curious, is this going to even pass constitutional muster?
Well, I mean, several law professors have raised that issue, of course. It still has to get through several committees. It would have to be voted by both houses of Congress. It has to go to a conference committee. Then will the president sign it? And then that's the next question, of course. If it ever becomes law, is it constitutional? Of course it will be challenged.
Ambassador David Smith, a senior fellow at the Potomac Institute for Policy Studies. Thank you so much, Ambassador. I appreciate the information.
Ernie, thanks again.